This is smilejos67, welcoming you back with Dax Isidoreth Hispalensis, and it is going to read some woodworker's mail to clear out my mailbox. See if I can get those flags in the background, shall we? That would look quite nice. Like that. Let's see how we go. Not quite. Oop, blocking one a little bit. Try it that way. That will do. Righto, let's go read the mail. Where are we up to? Pacrooti practices Whispering Fang, a powerful martial art. He met a Khajiit today, master of Galfang, an opposing style. Khajiit and Pacrooti had words. Actually, Pacrooti is a Khajiit. And nearly began a contest to decide his superior method, but a mage appeared and lit the Galfang master ablaze. Pacrooti escaped with the cinch leaps technique. Green Fang never loses. More components for Pacrooti's dear friend. A drunken Imperial told me today that I remind him of a small upright cinch tiger. He added, "This should be very odd, but somehow I don't mind." Eventually the Imperial fell asleep. No one was looking, so Pacrooti took purse and brought you components. From his purse. When Pacrooti has had too much moon sugar, his pores become very large. It is concerning, but the taste is exquisite. Moon sugar makes any food more edible. I didn't. Take attachment. And that one. Pacrooti hopes these components serve you well. Pacrooti took them from a local woodcutter whose home was full of circular, spidery writing. Pacrooti encountered a vicious pet there, with barbed, crimson skin. Luckily he knows the secrets of the Whispering Fang. Won the ensuring game of predator and prey. He got away! For another time. Today is the 100th time someone has told Pacrooti that most components hunters find their stock honestly in the fields and caves of Tamriel. People dislike that Pacrooti finds his in the pockets and drawers of others. Unless you appreciate them, it would be impossible for you to find the original owners anyhow. You thief! Pacrooti finds magic difficult to understand, but does not despise its practitioners. You realize that it is a danger to guard against, like any martial art, and studies mages carefully. Aiming for the hand seems particularly hindering. Gestures are key to spellcasting. Always lifting an arm, clenching a fist. Difficult. Bleeding limb. Pacrooti has been thinking of the old masters of the Whispering Fang. His teachers told what he thought were fantasy stories. The Whispering Masters catch arrows, they said. Ridiculous, this one thought. But today, Pacrooti saw a cinch tiger catch a throw a knife with its teeth. Pacrooti would tie it, but he likes the way his face is. Why don't you use your claws to catch arrows? How about trying that one instead? Khajiit of lineage lost once roamed the land. Then came the Thracian plague. What culture, what martial arts, what woodcrafting techniques must have been lost in its wake. Pacrooti would give splendorous wood to visit the time of the 16 kingdoms, when elsewhere of old was young, but that's impossible. So Pacrooti gives it to you instead. Khajiit are inclined toward a diet of sweets, and others judged for it. Pacrooti once sat down to dinner with a Breton mercenary who glared at Pacrooti plate and offered, "My son also eats candies for breakfast." Pacrooti bared his fangs and said, "But your son is an ugly boy." It pleased Pacrooti that the Breton did not like that. Pacrooti could walk into an imperial tea party with drooping fur. that would make him the laughing stock of any Khajiit village, and none would take heed, but failed to bathe for a few weeks, and the Imperials become an unruly mob, hurling insults and objects. They are a fickle the Pacrooti a few weeks dry adds character to the fence. Pacrooti collects these components for his dear friend. His mind wanders to the legendary artifacts of history like the Ring of Khajiit, which enabled Rajin to become a literal god of theft. They say the ring is out there somewhere in the wild. Pacrooti wonders if I ever cross paths with it. The song like that. The Imperial style, I mean. Pacrooti does not like taverns. He prefers to drink alone. Men and Myr are always spilling drinks, yelling immodesties. In the case of Myr, subtle immodesties. One day, when component collecting becomes lucrative, Pacrooti will purchase a tavern where he will cover his customers in fur, drench them in spirits. Enjoy these components, friend. The creatures Pacrooti tore them from with fearsome, formidable, five-clawed, you might say. They were written children, offspring of a lumberman. They bit, clawed, and hung off every limb. Overwhelmed Pacrooti to take his stock. He had to sneak into their home in the dead of night to take it back. Might have originally been theirs. Dominion. That means it's actually from Giovanni Capistrano. Anyway, this one's name is Pacrooti, not Eddie. This one wishes that the rest of Tamriel could tell the difference between a pet and a person. One day, perhaps the world outside elsewhere will feel like home, but it is not this day. May this component serve you well, my friend. These components Pacrooti collects for you take quite a commitment. There are dry days where Pacrooti doesn't meet anyone with the pockets he needs. And there are bountiful days where Khajiit finds a village of lumbermen. Could search the deeps and cave the Camarion hole, but sounds strenuous. So your best supply of woodcrafting ingredients is other people's pockets, is it? Pacrooti wants you to know that you are his favourite employer. You take in Pacrooti's letters with an aplomb that none of the others can manage. Pacrooti appreciates that. Otto Ben Guardian, an current employer, once asked if he could pay me to stop sending letters along with the components. Pacrooti did not like that. I like your letters. This one tries not to have too much moon sugar because that's when the golden saints of Shigarath make their presence known. Golden saints rule Tamriel, and are the only beings that taint even the general benevolence of moon sugar. They are the reason misfortune befalls the Khajiit that ever overconsume. Oh dear. Known in words. Ooh. Now that is from Giovanni Capistrano. Look at that, B6. He's noticed your tenacity in the circle of recent battleground matches, but failed. Battlemaster Ribbon. Anyway, Woodworkers Materials. Pacrooti often wonders what he would be like had he been born under a full moon. Such Khajiit become sense tigers, sometimes bred as steeds. Pacrooti wagers he would make a swift and powerful sense tiger, able to reach components much faster than he can today, though he supposes he would not be able to hold them. Like a hands, the universe can be. Yes, what good would... But hey, if you were a mount, somebody could ride you and hold them. Though Khajiit sound harmonious to each other, Pacrootis are the screensaver Khajiit singing sounds like the scraping of rocks against glass. Oh, the singing sounds like the scraping of two rocks against glass. The rocks floating around. Pacrooti swears he has a voice like an elfish bard of old. After an ale or two, enjoy components. Though Pacrooti tried, the components were not paid for by Pacrooti singing in the speech. Sinful components didn't work. Never mind. Pacrooti is proud of his mane, but it looks better after a few days of travel. The natural scarring that occurs after such time is incredible, 5-clawed even. Females don't seem to like the smell. Females don't seem to like Pacrooti. One hopes you leave the components well. Let them sit in the sun. They are smell. It'll pass. Yes, the sun burns off all stink, doesn't it? See that one. This one believes there is a beast in every Khajiit, no matter their calling or standing in life. And Lorkai helped the one who awakens that beast. Pacrooti was forced to punish a Breton child when his tail was pulled today. The child screamed as if burnt alive as he tied him down and recited excerpts from Civility and Etiquette Khajiit. No, you do not pull the tail of a Khajiit. Hey, house cats don't like it either. Pacrooti has always heard that Altna cannon reeves are very well bred. As with most things concerning politicians, Pacrooti did not understand what they meant. Pacrooti saw one in the street today, just a car's in tow, carrying all her personal possessions and opening doors for her. Apparently well bred is a roundabout way to stay handicapped. Ah! Clever. Pacrooti would like you to know that the original owner of these components did not deserve them. They will have a much better home with you. They will indeed. Show Pacrooti a wealthy elf and Pacrooti will show you a bigot who is a snobbish about cuisine and lifestyle. So Pacrooti a poor elf and Pacrooti will show you a bigot who is snobbish about cuisine and lifestyle. Elves should learn to be more open-minded like the Khajiit. Please accept these components Pacrooti has obtained from you. What's this from a poor elf or a rich elf? Sometimes Pacrooti becomes homesick and screams at the moons. So his neighbours, some of whom are Khajiit, he decided to throw clubs and bludgeons at him instead of remarking. Pacrooti turned down their gifts. Pacrooti turned their gifts into components for you. Oh, the clubs and the bludgeons. Oh, very good, very good. When Pacrooti is not collecting components, he dreams sometimes of teaching way of unarmed combat to those not in the know. But the people laugh at Pacrooti and say their work swords are all they need. They don't understand that. If Pacrooti wanted to, he would look them in the eye and rob them of their own blades at the same time. It's about hot. Pacrooti hopes you find these components to your satisfaction. Let a Spriggan head on for them. In fact, these components were once a Spriggan's head. I think it's head. Pacrooti has heard of the Yogodan sword saints, or Ansi, who had mastered their sword techniques so thoroughly that they could access abilities similar to magic spells. Pacrooti wishes that his training in the way of the Whispering Fang requires similar mental and physical but the Whispering Fang has never helped him to fly. And that will be it. This episode of Dax Isidoreth Hispalensis, and the next one I promised I was going to do the battlegrounds, but there's a couple of other things that have come up because ESO Plus free trial is available, and also look up there, I am only a few hundred off level 44, so I should upgrade that, which I'll do at the beginning of the episode to get the ESO Plus, turn that on, upgrade that so I can upgrade my gear, and then over 2 episodes I'll do the battlegrounds, and then I've got to do the reason the ESO Plus is because the Morrowind anniversary, and then if you're more tickets up for sale. Yes, First step. Tickets. Next exciting episode. That will be on the next exciting episode of Dax Isidoreth Hispalensis. Be well.